Ashish, I would like to ask you or help us with a quick summary of what has changed between the draft, which happened in Jan 2025, and the final rules which have come out on 13th November 2025.
Yeah. Thanks, Isha, and thanks, Nelson, for the introduction. Really excited to be all with you. We are, entering a great era where the digital economy is going to grow leaps and bounds, and with that comes a lot of responsibility. And this DPDP rules has reminded us that every one of us, including citizens, the business, the enterprises, have a lot of responsibility to understand that privacy has become a fundamental right. So maybe if you can quickly move to the next slide, that will help us understand how was the journey so far. And if you understand, we all know about GDPR, but if you see this slide, you see that our journey started well beyond earlier to GDPR. And in the IT Act of 2000, there was SPDI, the Sensitive Personal Data Information rules under IT 43A section of 2000 bill, which talks about what kind of sensitive or personal data we should be handling, managing, and taking care of that. But since the rules came quite ahead of its time and India's digital journey was not that mature, businesses didn't really consider to that importance. But then when the digital privacy got established as a fundamental right, I think that's where the real focus came back to considering data privacy as one of the pillars of any economy. And from then, we know, we have been all excited, and me and Isha, you were part of some sessions together. We did our DPO certifications, and we were eagerly waiting for the last 1.5 years. And finally, the D-Day came when, after the January 2025 notification of the rules for draft consultation, finally, just on the eve of Children's Day on 13th November, we saw the gazetted rules getting published. And that's where I think we stand now, and we are all trying to understand. So let's move to the next slide, where we will understand, based on the rules that got notified on 30th November, what exactly are the provisions in that rule and how we are going to handle the different provisions of that. So basically, what you understand is there are about 23, 24 odd rule sets, but from T0, which is the date that got notified the rules, I think the most important rules that got notified is about how government is going to set up the data privacy board, the different office bearers, how we should work as a organization, as a regulatory entity, and it should work more as digital office. So most of the rules are concerning around establishing the regulatory board, and then we understand going forward within the 1 year mark, exactly on 30th November 2026. By that time, it can be earlier to that as well. The consent framework, which is one of the bedrock of this data privacy, would have to be established. So government has listened all these years through different consultations from different regulatory bodies, businesses, different kind of tech organizations, be it big tech, be it social media, and they have taken care of all those concerns and risk highlighted in the different parts of those rules and align that with the act. So we need to be also very careful that whenever we are interpreting these rules, we also have the act interpretation of the different guidelines, the definitions side by side, so that the things are getting absolutely clear. So what we need to understand is, after that 1 year mark, when the consent framework is established, the actual implementation and full compliance would start 6 months later. So within 18 months, we should see the complete data privacy landscape getting kind of compliant with these rules that we are talking about. So one of the main aspects of that is obviously, when government brought this rule, one of the main consideration was that we have been seeing a lot of cyber attacks, data breaches. So it is not only data privacy we are talking about, because security and privacy should go hand in hand. So whenever we are implementing the full set of the rules, we really have to understand that with privacy, there is a security which is the bedrock, which should help establishing the rules, the capabilities, the obligations that we need to protect. So we will talk about those points hopefully in details in this section going forward. Isha, over to you.